night that night, riding through the Cascade Mountain, sitting there all alone looking out the window by myself. A lot more people on the train. But there was a gentleman that came back, and he said to me, "You mind if I sit beside you?" I said, "I don't mind it." He sat down beside me, and he introduced himself. He said, "I am a scientist, and I teach at the University of Oregon." And he asked me a question. He said, "What do you think about the condition of the South?" I said, "Well, it all depends on God's will." His reply to me, he said, "Well, I don't believe in God, the scientist. I believe in evolution." But when he, I'm tell you what went through my mind when he told me who he was and what he was and the job that he was doing. He was a scientist, and he taught at the University of Oregon. Because I had on my little soldier uniform. He didn't ask me who I was or what it was, because he could see I was a soldier. But when he said to me, "I don't believe in God, I believe in evolution." But when he told me who he was, I'm going to go back up again. Could tell you something that went through my mind. When he told me who he was and what his job was, I said, "Lord, here's an educated man, highly educated. You want to talk to an ignorant fellow like me? What am I going to say to him? Use my imagination." God said, "Leave it up to me."
All right.
Woo! God said, leave it up to me. Leave it up to me. I tell you what to say to him. And he said, "I don't believe in God. I believe in evolution." I said, "Oh." I said, "You are self-existent.
All right.
You just evolved from one thing to another to a human being." I said, "You know what?" I said, "You don't ever have to get sick because you're self-existent. The cause of your existence within yourself."
All right.
I said, not on that, you don't need an alarm clock to wake you up in the morning because you self-existent. All you have to say is self-wake up. I said, you don't need to take no sleeping pill to make you go to sleep. All you say is self go to sleep. Next thing I said, you don't ever have to die. I said, because you're self. I said, but me, I believe that behind life, there's a life giver. And behind every creature, there's a creator. And God is the creator of the universe. And I said, as we ride, thank you, brother. I said, now we're riding along on the train. It was late at night. And I pointed out to the scientist. Get me back up a little bit. No, I'm going to keep on going forward. We were riding through the mountain, and I looked up. I said, look up at the sky there. I said, look at the moon, how beautiful that moon is. I said, look at the stars, how they're twinkling in the sky. I said, look down on the side of the mountain there, and at the valley, look at the contours of the mountain. I said, that's a design. I said, God is the designer of the universe. Amen. And I said, somewhere down the line, as he talked to me, and I said, and I believe that behind life, there's a life giver. And behind every creature, there's a creator. And God is the creator of the universe. And behind every effect, there is a cause. I said, and God is the cause of all causes. You couldn't be here if it wasn't for God. Hallelujah by myself. Ain't he all right? Do you know it? But my main point from standing here today is that we must watch the signs. How many of y'all know signs are being displayed right now? To let you know that time is winding up. While we was in teacher meeting on Wednesday night. Were you here? Yes, sir. While we was in teacher meeting on Wednesday night, I got a telephone call from Sister Joan Brown in Oklahoma City, rather. She's a nurse. And she was excited when she called me. And I didn't answer because I left my phone on my desk. I'm glad I didn't. And she texted me. She said, what I see now is happening right now in the sky. I see the moon and the sun at the same time.
All right.
And it was about 9 o'clock at night. And she was so excited. I can show it to you on my cell phone. She said, I see the moon and the sun at the same time. And that was a mystery to her. And she wanted me to know that. And I got it on my phone. And she recognized in the sign that it said there shall be signs what? In the sun and in the moon. Is that what you just read? Sign in the sun and in the moon. So what our job is to watch the sign. Then Jesus said on one occasion, I'm going to go down close if I can. Jesus said, oh, you Pharisees and hypocrites, who can discern the face of the sky, but you cannot discern the signs of time. Amen. Y'all can look at when it gets cloudy, it's going to rain. But you can't discern the signs of time. Jesus said, when you see the fig tree begin to bud out and put forth its leaves, you know that time is at hand, even at the, right now I'm running ahead of myself. He said, you know that summer is nigh. When you see the fig tree begin to bud out and put forth its leaves. So likewise, when you see all these things come to pass that I have spoken, know that time is at hand, even at the door. And what I'm trying, Jesus have given us some signs, and we're supposed to watch these signs. In traveling, you can't go from one state to another without looking at signs. You can't even go to where you want in neighborhoods without looking at signs. There's street signs and numbers on the home that give you, it let you know where you are and where you need to be. Well, you need signs all around. As you drive them down the street, you need signs. Signs on the highway, watch the curve, sharp curve. Speed limit 55 miles an hour. Speed limit 70 miles an hour. Speed limit 80 miles an hour. I ain't seen no 100 miles yet though. But these are signs that for us to observe. And I'm going to try to close. But God told me to tell you, watch the sign. Signs are important today. He put the sign for our benefit so we can start getting ready to meet him. How many of you know you're supposed to start getting ready? How many of you paying attention, you scholars? Amen. Your school, your high school scholars and what is scholars of university? What is that, right? Huh? College scholars. What'd you say, brother? All right. You got all this scholarship and so forth and going to college, university and things, but you're not paying attention to what Jesus has to. The world is teaching you how to observe the thing they want you to observe. But the world ain't going nowhere. The world going to come to an end. Jesus want to let you know you got to obey the sign. Now, brother, I want you to read something. Read Isaiah, the 5th chapter, and I'm going to close. Even Isaiah, he prophesied 700 some years before the coming of Christ, but he's saying the same thing Jesus said. Isaiah, the 5th chapter. In Donovan, you look at 13th chapter. And in 17th chapter, and I'll tell you what verse. You got the 5th chapter. Yes, sir. I want you to read the 5th chapter and just one verse, the 30th verse. Now listen what he's saying.
Isaiah chapter 5, verse 30. And in the day there shall roar against them like a roaring of the sea, and if one look upon the land, behold darkness and sorrow, and the light is darkened in the heavens thereof.
Amen. Those are signs.
Yes, sir.
That's what I just saying. Okay, read verse 30, chapter 13, verse 10.
For the stars of heaven and the constellations thereof shall not give their light. The sun shall be darkened in its going forth, and the moon shall not cause her light to shine.
Those are signs, isn't it? Yes, this going to happen before Jesus come back.
Yes, sir.
It's going to be a scary time. It ain't nothing happening now, so you feeling your Cheerio. It's nothing happening. Also read 17th chapter of just that one verse of Isaiah, the 12th verse. Even Isaiah saw way back there 700 some years before coming of Christ that going to be signs in the sky. Back in the 1800s, 18 or 1700, something like that, I read a long time ago, that it up and around Boston, I think it was, they had stars were falling from the sky, and they thought that the world was coming to an end. How many of y'all read that? They thought, you read that? They thought the world would come to an end. They were scared because Jesus said before it come back, the star going to fall from heaven as a fig tree when it catch folks that untimely fig when it's shaken by a mighty wind. He said that way the star going to fall from heaven before he come back. And we have to keep track of these things that they happen. Read, young man.
Isaiah 17, verse 12. Woe to the multitude of many people, which make a noise like the noise of the seas, and to the rushing of nations that make a rushing like the rushings of mighty waters.
Now, these are just signs. What you reading there, those are signs of time. Read Joel, the 2nd chapter in the 30th verse. Joel, 2nd chapter, and I want you to read Daniel, Donovan, the 12th chapter and 4th verse. And then I'm going to close out. But what I want you to understand, that you got to watch what Jesus said. Jesus said, and there will be signs in the sun, in the moon, in the stars, on the earth, in distress of nation, perplexity because of the roaring of the sea and the waves. He said, all these things going to come to pass before I get back. But these some signs let you know to get ready. Am I making sense? So y'all understand what I'm trying to tell y'all this morning? How many of y'all understand what I'm trying to say? I may not be saying it, but because I'm going fast. But you got to know this for yourself. By me telling you, if you don't know it, if your soul be lost, you can't blame nobody but yourself. You got it, brother? Why they looking? Joel, you got Joel? Okay.
I got Joel 2 and 3.
Job, the 2nd chapter and 30th verse.
A fire devoureth before them, and behind them a flame burneth.
Now,
30.
What's it, Mike? Mike, you get the mic, Dan. You want to help him? You want to help him? You can help him.
Okay.
We're in it together.
Okay, I got it. Yeah. And I will show wonders in the heavens and in the earth,
Yeah, that one right.
blood and fire and pillars of smoke.
Now, he will show what? Wonders where?
Wonders in the heavens and in the earth, blood and fire and pillars of smoke.
Now, y'all think you're going to be able to stand all that? When that start happening, brother, you're going to be in trouble. Y'all hear what I'm saying? You read where it said, woe be unto women who with child.
Yeah.
Didn't you read that? It's going to be a terrible time, he's saying. And y'all sitting there just as comfortable now as you can be. But I have to sweat because I'm concerned about your soul being saved. And I can't save you. Only thing I can do is tell you about one who can save you, and that's Jesus. He's already paid the price on Calvary that you can be saved. But you got to do something in order to be saved. You're not going to be saved, just like I said a few moments ago, not by spontaneous combustion, neither by osmosis, but you're going to have to wait to be saved. You're not waiting for the Lord just come here on Sunday morning and sit down. Amen. Not even worshiping him. When you come in here, you come to worship him. When you go out to serve him. Come on, y'all help me now. You go out to bring lost souls to him that they might be saved. And if you know why you can't do it? Because you're not saved yourself. That's a tough word. But my mother used to say, every saved soul must save a soul. When you become saved, then you are concerned about the unsaved. Do you not know that what happened to the Apostle Paul? When his name was Saul, he was a persecutor of the church. But when he met Jesus and became saved, his life turned around. Instead of trying to destroy the Christian, he wanted to save those who were lost. That's what happened when you become a child of God. Something on the inside take charge of you. Amen. To want you to help save those who are lost. Some of you on your way to hell don't even know it. Some of you on your way to hell don't care. How many of y'all know you're on your way to hell? You ain't gonna answer that question there. It's kind of like I told you that story, and I'm going to try to close, Brother Plummer. I don't want you to go to sleep on me. There's a fella, I heard a story of, I think, this morning night, we were traveling on the way to Denver, Colorado. Had a radio, and the minister was preaching. He was preaching to his congregation, and he said, the fella sitting on the front pew, he said, how many of y'all want to go to heaven? And everybody raised their hand but one fella sitting there on that pew. He said, how many of y'all don't want to go to hell? Everybody raised their hand but except that one fella.